deep relationships and deep connections, relationships and connections for starters are extremely important. They're a need that we have, and the stronger and the deeper they are, the greater the benefit and the greater the contribution to our well-being. Now, there are options, right? There are different kinds of connection. And for someone, if someone, let's say, is in a situation where they've been lacking connection for a long time, any of these is going to make a very big improvement to their quality of life and well-being very quickly. A connection with a friend, but a real connection. A connection doesn't just mean going out for coffee to pass time. Going out for coffee to pass time can be good and helpful if someone's bored and struggling with that. But that's not connection. That's a level of connection, it's social connection maybe, which is some degree of connection. But the moment that we actually connect with that person as two people connecting emotionally with each other, that's the moment that the magic starts to happen, that we start to feel more complete and more fulfilled. A connection, social connections, connection with a friend, connection with family, connection with something bigger than ourselves, connection to purpose, connection to the Creator, connection to God, to Hashem. And this is why the truth is that it's fascinating, because there's an illness that unfortunately is way too widespread, far more widespread than a lot of people realize in every community. And the illness that I'm getting at is addiction, which includes addiction to alcohol, alcoholism, etc., and a whole range of others. And there's a program, Alcoholics Anonymous, which has been around for many decades, I think in the ballpark of 100 years, if I'm not mistaken, though I might be wrong on that. And it's fascinating that this system was created by people decades ago. I think it was mostly on intuition and trial and error, if I'm not mistaken. But the structure of the system now aligns with a lot of cutting-edge research on habits and connections and things like that, and the importance of these things. And one of the foundations, maybe the foundation, I don't know if you could say the foundation, but it's close to it, of the system and of the success that people have in getting from a state of active addiction into a state of recovery where they're safely, their addiction's under control and they're not using whatever it was that they had a problem with. The foundation of that progress is connection, right? And it's officially a non-religious or it's non-denominational, let's say. But it is at heart pretty much, you could say, a religious approach, because the foundation of the success of the system is belief in and reliance on a higher power. And because it's non-denominational, they don't have a name for it. It's just called a higher power. But the moment a person feels a connection to something that's bigger than themselves, something that's greater than themselves, something that's more powerful than ourselves, the moment we feel that connection, it gives us, it fills a hole inside. It gives us strength. It gives us support. It gives us health. It gives us well-being. And very often, and there's been some fascinating research just done in the in recent years about the impact of connection or a lack of connection on addiction in the first place, and the extent to which a lack of connection is responsible for so many people ending up in a state of addiction in the first place. Because we need connection. And if we don't have connection, we're going to have to look elsewhere to fill that void, because the same way that if a person doesn't have food, they are going to be hungry. Simple fact. Now, it's true there are illnesses, there are neurological illnesses where there's a deficit in the brain's ability to process the sensation of hunger, and people could not eat and not realize they're hungry. But that's illness. Any person who is somewhat healthy and doesn't have that specific neurological disorder is going to feel hungry if they haven't eaten food for a period of time. They will feel hungry. It's unavoidable. We don't eat, we get hungry. It's a simple fact. It's a 100% correlation. If we don't drink water, we will become dehydrated. We will feel thirsty. Guaranteed outcome. 100% correlation. If we don't have connection, we are going to feel empty and lacking and lost.